Good evening on a day that suggests it is no longer business as usual for the BC government as the Liberals begin the process of picking a new leader. It was just a few weeks ago, Premier Gordon Campbell went on province-wide TV to make good off the HST, offering you a 15% tax cut. So much has changed since that night. Anger over the HST has forced Campbell to quit, and now the government is rescinding the tax cut. After a day-long cabinet meeting, word came late this afternoon that the cut has been pulled off the table. That cabinet meeting began with BC's former energy minister getting kicked out. Bill Bennett's latest criticism of the premier got him bounced, and now that he's on the outside looking in, he has a lot to get off his chest. He says the premier is a foul-mouthed bully who reduces his MLAs to tears. It's the kind of candor we don't usually see, and it may not be the last. Our legislature reporter Shachi Kurl has been watching the cracks in solidarity splitting wide open. Shachi.
Hudson, all of this happened at a showdown in Vancouver because Bennett called on the premier to quit politics and to go sooner rather than later. But what he said next in Victoria this afternoon was unprecedented as he tore strip after strip off Premier Gordon Campbell.
Their spin on this is going to be that, well, you know, Bill's cabinet colleagues, you know, asked Bill to leave because they couldn't trust him anymore. Well, you know, it's true. They couldn't trust me not to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. And I'm tired of the bullshit that goes on in politics. And I'm really tired of the way Gordon Campbell thinks that he can just run on people. He can run on me. I'm a tough guy. I can take it. But I've seen him do it to other people in our caucus. You have almost a battered wife syndrome inside our caucus today, inside our cabinet. It's really sad. And all the man has to do to give the BC Liberal Party a chance to renew itself is to leave. That's all he has to do. He is a very, very intimidating human being and does have a temper. He does talk to people disrespectfully in caucus. I've seen him do it dozens and dozens of times. He's certainly done it to me. The first time he got angry with me, I simply said as a backbencher in my first year, I thought the caucus retreat was not very effective. And he got so angry with me that he got in my face. He was so angry he actually spit in my face. Spittle came out of his mouth and got on my face, and I'm actually the sort of guy that you shouldn't do that to.
Have you seen members in tears after getting a shellacking from him?
Absolutely. Absolutely. He is a very smart politician. There's a lot of pressure on him. You know, I mean, we all lose our cool. I've lost my cool, but I think there's different styles of leadership, and I think you should inspire people, not scare people.
Why did you put up with it for so long?
I don't know, maybe I'm a sucker. I believe that we could make a better province through the political party, and I think we did. And I think if Premier Campbell had left when he should have left, we wouldn't be going through this right now, and I wouldn't be spilling my guts to you people. It shouldn't have been necessary. It should not have been necessary to do this. And I don't, I look at the history of this province, and there's Van der Zam. I mean, he didn't seem to get it. There's Glenn Clark, he didn't seem to get it. And now there's Gordon Campbell, and he doesn't get it either.
Now, what does the premier have to say about all of these allegations from Bill Bennett? Well, in the last hour, we heard from Gordon Campbell, and the first thing that he addressed was that alleged spitting incident.
And no one likes to hear that kind of thing, particularly when it's not true. I think my style is open. I've always had the best interests of British Columbia at heart. I encourage honest and open dialogue, and you'll have to ask my other colleagues about the style, but all I can tell you is you don't hold a caucus together, you don't hold a government together, and you don't hold a party together by being a bully.
Now, Campbell says Bennett jumped the gun because the Premier's plan, he says, was to lay out a process for transition, and that process included today's cabinet meeting and talking about the income tax cut, which has now been suspended. Campbell will still be making a throne speech and tabling a budget in February, but he says he's not going to announce any new initiatives until a new Liberal leader is chosen. Now, one more thing, I did manage to get hold of at least one of Bill Bennett's Liberal caucus colleagues in the last hour. That person says that Cabinet made a huge mistake by kicking Bill Bennett out, but that Bennett made a mistake by lashing out at the Premier. He says the Premier is not a bully, though he does lose his temper, this source of mine. But, you know, at this point, Hudson, can the Liberal ship possibly right itself amidst all this chaos? It is very hard to see that tonight.
All right. We'll keep an eye on Shachi. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shachi Kurl reporting.